The multi-table updatable views are significantly more complex than their single-table counterparts. The most common example are multi-table updatable views for one-to-many relationships, where the core of the logic comes from these two tables, the parent or one table such as orders, and the child or the M table such as order detail in this case. This does not mean, as you will see shortly, that these are the only two tables involved in the view. But it will mean that these are the only two updatable tables, whereas the rest of the tables provide supporting information that is read-only. The one-to-one correspondence between each row of the view and the multiple base tables is established by including both primary keys in the view. However, the only keys truly required are the primary and foreign keys from the child table. Only if the view is supposed to support the insert operation on the parent table is the parent primary key required. For update operation, the parent primary key is not necessary. In our examples that follow, we will make sure to include all the primary and foreign keys from the parent and child tables. Otherwise, insert operation is not going to work. Okay, for the rest of this presentation, we're going to use Microsoft Access to design and use multi-table updatable views, and then eventually show how to use these with forms and reports. We begin by opening the sporting goods database in ACC DB4 sports file right here. All the tables and relationships are already in there, and there may be some queries down here from previous videos and exercises, or there might not. Then we'll use Notepad to open up partially completed ACC DB 430 MULT table updatable view file. Okay, and we're going to complete the first view, multi-table updatable view. Let me put it on top of the presentation as I do, by completing it with the join between order table and order detail on order ID. Okay, so we're going to save this. We're going to copy the code, and then we're going to switch back to Access and paste it in the SQL editor. The easiest way to get to SQL editor is to click the Create tab, Query Design, close the Show Table dialog box, click on the SQL view, and paste the code. I will save this query as a ACC DB4 underscore order, 30 underscore order underscore update underscore view. Okay, and notice that there is no create view statement. The MS Access views are simply stored queries, and the query is stored, right here under this name. Okay, so we'll run it just to make sure that we get all 2081, I believe it was, records, which is the total number of records in the order detail table, right? Okay, then we'll switch back to the presentation, and we'll use the code at the bottom of the current slide to create an update query on the just created view to modify the date for a particular order number 1003 in a particular product that's contained within that order. So before we actually start that, let me switch back to Access and just sort of filter out, where are you? Filter out that order with a number filter equal to 1003. And you'll see these two order details, right? One, both of them have January 2nd, 25, and one of them, the second one, has the product ID 168 with a quantity of 2. So we want to update two pieces of information, both of these to January 3rd, 25, and only this one detail to 4 units of quantity. Okay, so we'll switch the presentation, and we'll put the notepad on top of it and create the update query on ACC DB 4 underscore 30 no, that's not the one. The second one, update view. Okay, by setting order date to within hashtags and access January 3rd, 2025, comma, quantity to 4, where, make sure to put the where clause, order ID is that 1003 just mentioned, and product ID is 168. Now, if you think about this, okay, this is a weird where clause. Okay, the where clause is actually going to restrict. The first piece is going to make a restriction. Okay, I'm going to copy this. It's going to make a restriction to both of these records. But the second piece, then further restricts this to just this one record. So you're not really. It's sort of acting like a weird or statement of sorts. Okay, so where am I? Go back here, create, query design, close, SQL view, paste, save this guy as ACCDB4 underscore ORD date underscore QTY for quantity underscore update. And it's going to show up as an update query with a specific symbol in access. Okay, so if I run this, if this works, both of these dates should be changed to the 3rd, and only one of these quantities should be changed to the 4. Okay, you're about to update one row, which is really not sort of true. If you got back, you'll see, but that one row that is referring to in the message is this particular row, right? A single row in order table for order 1003. That one got updated to January 3rd, and then one row in order detail table for that same 1003 got updated. Only this one got updated to 4. Okay, so I'm back to presentation. As I show at the bottom of the slide, this did work in Access as I just demonstrated, but it's not necessarily going to work in general, right? It's not necessarily going to work in general because more strict database systems such as MySQL, Oracle, and so forth will not allow what is essentially a simultaneous update in both tables on each side of the join, the order on the left and the order detail on the right. Hold again, left, right, doesn't matter. That is what we mean by the lack of broad agreement on multi-table updatable views. Brief research on this topic will most likely advise you to avoid the kinds of multi-table views where both parent and child tables are updatable, and recommend to only have updatable child table, which is order detail in this case. Okay, as it is, in this example, we can insert a new order, so we can update the parent table using this view. And we can also insert the rows in the order details table, which is the child table, right? So you can create, either your own insert query, or can simply copy paste the one at the bottom of the SQL file, as I'll just show. You need to then run it and make sure that it works. Okay, so here, okay, we're going to copy this guy here. I'm going to go to, let me just close a bunch of these things here. I'll double check it again later. Close this guy. And then, let's close everything. And then we'll, again, query design, close, SQL view, paste this, and then save it as ACCDB4 underscore new underscore order underscore insert. And notice that this order has only one order detail. Okay, otherwise I would have to repeat the values multiple times, right, if I want to have another product. And that's possible. Okay, and it shows up again with a slightly different icon for the insert queries here. And then hopefully we'll run it, hopefully it works. You'll append one row, which is true, although it's done in both tables, and order and order detail tables. We'll first demonstrate this by just running the order view, and we will just filter out the 3000, right? Which is I know that one's available. That's why I use that weird number. It's right here. Shows the customer 406, employee 51, the date, and then the single order detail here, right? So obviously this will be available or updated in the order table as well as order detail table. Okay, so we're going to close all this stuff without saving anything. There's nothing to save. Everything is saved already. Go back to the presentation. Okay, so as you can tell from even these relatively simple examples, multiple table updatable views are more complex and need to be designed with utmost care. Typically, only the child table should be updatable. The parent and any supporting tables should be read-only, although clearly we have not followed that suggestion because our parent table order is updatable. In the reminder of this presentation, we will discuss the use of these multi-table one-to-many relationship type updatable views as key building blocks for hierarchical forms, data entry forms, and summary and application reports in general. And this is a good place to pause.